Okay, good morning. Jinseo plays black in a Blitz game against Liao Yuanhe, I think. I could be wrong about who Yuanhe is. But these are two Fox Tendons. To become Fox Tendon, you have to win 18 out of 20 games against national champions or world champion runner-ups on Fox. So that's 90% win rate against national champion, world champion, basically top 100 minimum level players, more like top 50. If you go 90% win rate against top 50 players in Blitz on Fox, you get to go up to Tendon. It's an honorary rank for the most part, but you can play ranked games with other Fox Tendons. So Shin Jinseo and Liao Yuanhe, if that is who this is, they both became Fox Tendon. They're both world champions, and they are now playing a Fox ranked game. Now, what's very interesting is that Shin Jinseo is on his quest to go to Fox 11 Dan. To go to Fox 11 Dan, you have to beat the Fox 10 Dans, the guys who beat the top 50 players in the world 90% of the time. You have to beat them 90% of the time. You have to win 18 out of 20 games against them. Shin Jinseo started off really, really well. He had a 12-game win streak as he came up to Fox 10 Dan, but unfortunately he proceeded to lose 4 games in a row. So that's unlucky. And that meant he could not rank up to Fox 11 Dan, which would just be absolutely unheard of and will probably never happen to anyone if it's the same standards. You know, how do you go 90% against the people who go 90% against the top 50 players in the world, right? Like, that's a ridiculous level. Anyway, he didn't get there, but he's currently 15-5. He's currently on a 3-game win streak at Fox Tendon. And I'm here to watch, so I got to see this game start live, and now I'm going to start recording. I'm going to try to live commentate best I can. I'll turn the coordinates on, although it doesn't help that much. Should put them on screen there. Okay. So, Shin Jinseo is black. His opponent is white. Yuanhe here has 11-9 record at Fox Tendon in Fox Tendon ranked games. So black starts by taking a position on the right side. He's going to potentially attack these 5 stones. It's always quite awkward to defend those 5 stones because, of course, white won't get any base. He won't get any territory when he defends them. So he just has to sort of trust that the influence will be valuable. And in the meantime, black is building a real territory. So many weaker players will just attach here sort of mindlessly, but that doesn't really happen that often at the higher level because they want to preserve the chance to play peep. They want to preserve the chance to play on the bottom side. They don't really need the power right here, right now. So instead we're going to see block in the upper left corner, which makes sense. And now as Shin Jinseo attacks it, maybe Yuanhe will choose some different shape. Maybe he will choose this shape, but he's going to choose the best shape that he can to control this. But yeah, I like this attack by Shin Jinseo. Obviously, he's not planning to kill this group. He's just thinking that stones on the bottom side are not as useful for white here as the stones in the center are for black, which can make sense. So now white is forced to go for this exchange because if he wouldn't go for this exchange now, he'd have to sort of run without it, and he definitely wants to run to the bottom side, so he may as well be helped as much as he can. But Shin Jinseo obviously knows what's going on. He's just playing very fast, trying to cause Yuanhe the most trouble possible, the least time to think to how to solve his problem as possible. This peep is coming. This peep is pretty painful shape, I think, for white. So he decided to fix it directly, which makes sense. And then black will obviously fix that. Otherwise, this large knight's move will get crushed. So I guess some people might choose to attack again. But when white jumps through here, it gets split. White is connected in between, and black is cut on both sides. So that's just unplayable fight. So yeah, probably this is a good exchange by white to make black solid, but to make white solid to deny that peep, because black was going to be solid anyway if black would get that peep, and white would just be more compressed without the shape. Black does get a bonus towards the influence, towards the center over here, and he's going to use that to go and build right now. Wow. Shin Jinseo is, of course, as relentless as possible in all his games. He never steps off the gas for any reason. So this is the strongest way to build. You could just throw a stone sort of casually over here, but it wouldn't be nearly as imposing. Like white could easily trade stuff away. This way we are asking to get the most resources over here, to trade back, to leave this the most open so that white should be able to go in. But when white goes in, we can start another fight and there will be more intrigue in the game. So white decided to attach here right away to do his invasion, which is kind of an interesting choice. That's not really my first intuition. I don't actually think that's a great choice, but it gives black this weird moment where, yeah, he was supposed to take the power, obviously, with his weak group here. But then when white turns, if he takes more power, he sort of gets too strong. He can't easily attack this white because it's hard to surround. And he can't easily attack that way if he could take a base. So at that weird moment, black decided to take the 2 space away from white like this, which makes sense. If you would play 1 space here, then it's very easy for white to lean on you and over-concentrate you. But to play here, then it's easier to strike back against white. Unfortunately, it means that white will get this peep and we will get to run out. And this group obviously will not have that much eye shape. And this is definitely what Yuanhe was planning when he played that attach version. He was thinking that something like this would happen and it should be okay for white. Now, we have to see how Shin Jinseo chooses to attack. So he attacks first by aiming at the topside group, trying to make this situation more complicated. He's noted that if he ever jumps here, it should be pretty easy to link up, right? I mean, he's definitely gonna know about the status of this situation over here. I think that it should be possible to link up here. This peep complicates things. Maybe with that peep, white might be able to do a cut, but it'd be pretty hard. So this black is not that weak. So that's why he attacks from this direction first. But then white was like, well, you know, obviously comparing the right side group and the top side group, the right side group is weaker, so let's just make some space with that. Makes total sense. And Jinseo attacked from the center here, not breaking the bamboo, which I think is the very natural idea, is to break the bamboo here. But maybe then Yuanhe would argue his shape has become strong, so he can just sort of go on top and force. If you ever force this black to come back, it would be great. So black would run out too. So black basically just chose instead to get a situation where it's more likely he can use that stone to surround this white. And even though it made some eye space, it's not exactly enough to like live. Aha. So they played this variation really fast. They definitely were reading this Hane. I mean, I was reading this Hane, so it's easy for them to read it too. And Yuanhe had planned to allow this push. Obviously, this push, if white would answer, then black's cuts are more fixed, so black can play this double Hane and cause much greater problems, get much stronger, and start re-attacking this really hard with some pincer. So instead, to play this way, white is being lighter with respect to his shape over here. He doesn't have to save that stone. This group is not going to get attacked that hard because it has the potential run back. It's totally fine. But the downside for white is there's still a cut here, and black is the next move over here. And black being very strong is making black free to do all sorts of other things, like attack this group, attack that group. So he broke the top side, let white go into the corner. I agree with that. It's definitely better than to play in the corner itself, since the corner, this shape is already very strong. We don't want to play from the corner, get the territory, and let white get the territory here. It's obvious that you want to do that. And then he pincers this group directly on the 5th line, which I like as well, and plays here super, super natural. This white group is quite restricted, but it can definitely save itself still. It blocks to the 2nd line here. That wasn't really my intuition. I was thinking more like we were going to be running out, you know, using this peep or something. But if you ever use this peep, you can't use this Atari. So you do definitely lose some points by using this peep. He just leaves this. If you already descend there, since this white already does have those resources, just descending here is sort of like passing the turn with a little bit of extra strength and saying, hey, you can't really attack me because I'll save myself pretty easily. And so black does indeed have to quit attacking. He plays this peep into here, very interesting, trying to make it so that he could theoretically invade, but when white stops the invasion, white makes sure that that group is like locally dead. Black is just using that to reduce the top side more effectively. Quite interesting idea. Anyway, after that, white blocked, so that makes this group much, much, much more secure. He's getting some space there. And in general, it looks like white is doing pretty well this game. Although black set up a whole bunch of like aggressive ideas, he never actually got to punch white in any way that really mattered. White managed to dodge all the serious pressure, and black is left with just some territories around the board that don't seem to be significantly more imposing than white's territories for any reason. Plays this bump, okay. White now plays the peep, okay, makes sense, because he doesn't want to exchange the Atari anymore after he already plays there, and then plays the descend. This bump is quite a mystery to me. It looks like bump and descend just helps white. I don't really understand why that would ever be a good thing to do. This is much more sensible, in my opinion, to attach here, is to look at using those 2 stones, and you can even think about doing stuff quite directly with this cut. I mean, this cut is really quite powerful. So Wei is going to cover it as best he can, cover these stones with this Hane. And I guess I expect to see the Hane back. That looks pretty normal to me, yeah. And Wei will have a really hard time capturing that one stone and allowing this cut and allowing that cut at the same time. Okay, Weight's going to go for it, but yeah, this is what I read, and I don't really see how Wait holds together here. I'm sure Wait sees, because that's why he did it, right? Like, Wait is a world champion, he's a very good player. But what's the point here? What was Wait's plan? I'm quite confused. Okay, just to go here, then... Oh, the fight is quite complicated, of course, as always with world champions. Wow, this is some kind of ladder breaker, I think. So after this, if black plays here and push like that, then there can often be a ladder, even after this turn as well, and then there can be a ladder with this. Oh man, so I think that this cut and push here is already working after that exchange. Why did Yuanhe allow that then? Okay, he plays this Hane first, I agree. This Hane, I was thinking like maybe you Hane connect in order to make the Liberty situation better, but I think just this Hane by itself leaves more potential to like descend later in the thing, and it prevents White from playing this Hane easily to reduce Liberties. I mean, White can still do that, but it's not as easy. And to like link up. So Hane first and then cut makes sense, and then White has to back off, I agree. Black can Atari now because of that Hane, and then Black will probably capture. Probably. Black could descend actually, but it seems insane. And then I guess we're going to see White play away. Not exactly sure. Like, White could play here. Is very nice for the Shorter Liberty issues. Yeah. It was also nice for the life and death in the corner. So it's a shame for White, though. White feels very upset about this result because, yeah, Black made this peep exchange, which is bad to enable the ladder. But locally, Black just reduced all that area in Sente and got really strong here, and even has some future squeeze in the center if he needs it, right? So even more strength over here. And the only cost was this one stone on the side and like a strong shape over here, which really isn't that much, especially considering how much territory that Black reduced anyway. How did Black just do this to squeeze this shape so bad? Oh, wow. He forced White to block here so that this block would become an empty triangle that becomes like that. Wow, 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 wow. What a beautiful move this Tiger's Mouth is. I never think of such ideas, but Shin Jinseo is just squeezing White. That's really, really cool. Really, really cool. Just squeezing White and then saving his own group out into the center, since obviously this exchange gave White a lot more power over here. White can't be cut now. Black was relying on that cut a lot of the time to save this group, but now White can't be cut, and even this connection isn't working that well after this peep was confirmed. So saving this group makes a ton of sense, and then we have White just taking the territory over here, approaching this part, but it's still quite strong, so it doesn't mean that much. That's why Black played away, and White has to save this group. Black decided to extend up to take care of that group and to take care of this area. Still, though, I don't know if my judgment is bad. It seems like the game is quite playable still for White, but the betting odds say that Black is crushing it. Completely destroying. Okay, wait, does this turn once, which makes a lot of sense. That's just limiting the ability of Black to squeeze in the future for basically free. I mean, Black should definitely answer that. And that answer doesn't exactly build anything that's useful for Black, at least nothing that's more useful than if White hadn't played. And white takes territory again. That swig of territory looks really vulgar. A lot of the swigs of territory before were like, okay. But this doesn't look that okay. That one looks very forced, unnatural. Because, yeah, there's still a weak group here, there's still a weak group there, there's still a big area here. Like, it looks much more natural to put that stone, like, attach here, or figure out some way to handle this area, or attach here, or jump through. Like, there should be some cool thing to do over here. Even just Hane looks more natural than this one. Anyway, after that, black, like, immediately said, hey, you have an area over here, and I can... Obviously, I have to defend my weakness. Like, that's what this moon is for, is, like, black has some weakness over here. But black says, hey, I can defend my weakness right in front of your shape. And now we have some fight. It's somewhat interesting here. I was thinking that I would block the other side if I were playing black. Because this way, for it to make sense, you should connect, and then you have to use these cuts and allow this cut. But Shin Jinseo says, so what? I can use these cuts. Because now, if black peeps here and white tries to cut it, then let's see what's going to happen. Black will cut here, Atari. Okay, what exactly is going to happen? No. Wait, what? Oh, if white cuts here, then black has this one as sente, so we can just directly cut. And then cut here, and then cut here, and then white would die in the capture race. So white was not allowed to cut here, so he fixed his own shape first, and then black pushed here, and white answered. If white would not answer that and cut directly again, then this time it probably is just that you would save yourself locally, because this is all very, very useful by itself. There's this attach as well. Can happen, but probably not. Wow, and white did this to resist the black sente moves, make that shape better, but black just extended, ignoring that and making some counterattack again, very, very serious, and extend. He never comes back to answer this cut because he's always thinking he can come back over here instead and save this group separately. White must be quite upset because he wants to cut, I guarantee it. But if Shin Jinseo is allowing it, he must have a good plan. I still don't really see it, to be honest. I think I would cut here if I were white. White sees it, whatever it is that they're talking about, but. I mean, obviously this white group could become surrounded if you cut here and black tries to save themselves, like this, then white could block, and then black might end up liberty racing the inside against the whole thing by surrounding it like that. But white has so many outside liberties, especially after cutting here. It's like, it should be like 5 or 6 or 7, like, or 8, like a lot of outside liberties. But anyway, I think that was probably Shin Jinseo's plan. So wait, eventually just jumped here and black saved himself. Somehow maybe black could have gotten enough liberties over here by having a big eye space. So first white jumps, and then black tries to save himself on the side, and white blocks it, trying to force black to spend that final move connecting, and black still resists, so white cuts now, and black will definitely be able to live now with an extra entire move. So just block, and yeah, that shape should absolutely be big enough. And there's still a resource to connect under to this group on the other side. And now this white group is still somewhat weak, and this black group's like somewhat weak. So this cut, it was looking like these two black groups would be weak. Black has saved the one on the right side, and now it's time to save the one on the top side, and you still have this whole weak group to harass. Yeah, this move, this was threatening against black to reduce the territory, to reduce the area with the shortage of liberty technique. So black fixed the shortage of liberty technique by fixing the cut, and then has the area as well expanded as much as he could. And now white will run from the left side. So black will take care of his group on the top side now. The only question was whether it was going to be Hane or extend, and he chooses the Hane, the most aggressive option, of course. He is, after all, named Shin Jinseo. And if white would go a little too crazy, like Atari and then Atari here, then black can Atari this, and then make a shortage liberty technique really nasty. If white connects, then it dies. So this Atari is fine. I think that black is going to connect, and then white... Oh my goodness, black is crazy. He wants to kill this. I forgot that that was weak. And Shin Jinseo is like, how dare you forget? Not allowed. But I thought you could do this anyway, but white was just going to connect here, and then black would be compressed into having to save, and Shin Jinseo is like, I won't be compressed. Why would I be compressed? That's something that weaker players do. So he extends up instead, saves his group this way, potentially sacrificing the upper left, but since white was already super strong there, you can sacrifice that. You don't have to save it. And just push here. This group on the right side looks to be getting in big danger. However, of course, the territory situation is churning around for white. If white actually manages to save this and get away with all that territory, white could, in fact, take this game still. And this is quite risky because Shin Jinseo has some cuts over here. He kind of has to push from behind, and his own group over here is getting weak. So white is now splitting, cutting the top group and the right side group, both of which potential targets for white's counterattack here. White already has one eye from Sente from attacking that group on the right. And he can potentially play here and here, but he would still have this. So he has no real eye, second eye over there. Wow, I'm very impressed that white decided to take up Yuyomi at this moment when basically every player, every amateur would not breathe and just push directly. But white took up Yuyomi and decided to push here, which doesn't make that much sense to me. I don't really understand it all, but he was clearly thinking about something important. I'm very impressed by just having the wherewithal, the guts to not just immediately do this. I'm sure that most 9-dan pros will just immediately push through in a Blitz game. But he does this bamboo instead for some mystical reason. I don't know. And then Shin Jinseo does not Atari there, or does not answer there. If he would answer, then whatever white's idea is getting answered. And then additionally, he doesn't actually have that much weakness that it's like serious, that even if he does this, it's not like surrounded anyway. So he has a potential to block here later and threaten to surround it, or to just fall back. So for now, he's just going to do the thing which is big for area, because he's given up on attacking this white group to death, like right now. Which seems okay. Seems to make sense. Let me decline matches. Yeah, I have fallen to Fox 7-dan, by the way, since my adventure of Fox 9-dan, where I went 5-13 at 9-dan, and I fell to 8-dan, and I tried to blitz my way back up, but then, a couple of sessions blitzing where you aren't really in the best mood, and you can easily lose games. I'm not that much better than Fox 8-dans, so I actually deranked all the way to 7-dan, and I have to play a bunch of games to get back up. I'll do that. I will do that, but... takes time. And I also blitzed and lost a couple games at Fox 7-dan even. Just being very careless. It turns out that if you're careless, your skill goes way down. Who knew? Anyway, we have a co-fight going on now where black is looking to win a co over here to kill these 2 stones to save his group back, and even you could do this. Later. So, I mean, it's a really, really big co, but there's also really, really big attack going on. So black just played here, saying I'm going to attack you on the right side, white. And it looks like white is thinking about a counterattack here. That's exactly what I was expecting. And so white was reading this variation about the shortage of liberty that might happen over here and about the co. So now black needs some enormous co threats. He does have some. Push through here. It's possible. You could theoretically attack this. So yeah, clamp here. I was thinking between these 2 clamps. I don't know exactly which one is better. Shin Jinseo says this clamp is better. I believe that's because this cut already exists, so it's like an elephant clamp over that cut. So it makes it very difficult for white to actually secure the second eye. White has to literally kill this stone. Actually, it's actually quite difficult in general to secure the second eye. So white just ignores that. So then Shin Jinseo will try to say I can kill this group over here on the bottom. White has killed the whole top side. That's a huge gain by territory over there, but white must save this one, because if this dies, then I think black would still have enough territory. I mean, white might be able to trade it away. This has got to be really hard to win if you trade it away, but you could just push through here. Okay, so he starts the immediate attempt to save. Black just connects, obviously. I don't really get the point of that. I think that just pushing here first might have been better, so that you have the most counter pressure you can over here. And now black is going to take care of his group on the right side so that white can't counterattack that. And yeah, white might Hane if he really wants to make a trouble over here, but just turning like this would be white saying he's winning by just taking this part on the top. Okay, this is expectable, and black can answer in several different ways to not allow any eye here. Obviously, if white plays here, black wants to do this. If white does this, then black wants to play here, and then white was locally dead because this is blockable. So Hane makes the best trouble. So there is a lot of trouble still here. So I agree. We should be making trouble. Will Shin Jinseo just connect? I think that's what I would do. It's the most obviously stable way. Yeah, connect. Otherwise, this really could get in danger. I think that there's quite a lot, actually, that white could do if you had some weakness. But since when you just connect here, this cut still exists, and you don't have the weakness over here, really, there's still like a lot of value to be had. Anyway, white has Komi and the whole top side of the board, and nothing else. So that's quite interesting. Yeah, I wonder if that's going to be enough. It looks like white has like a lot of points. Somehow that co-trading seemed to work maybe a bit better than Shin Jinseo was expecting. He tried to kill this whole bottom right group, and maybe even that's still not enough. Black does have the whole bottom side of the board and like a little bit here, but he doesn't have Komi. So he blocks off. This was a nice sequence where if white would push, then black could push and cut here to save those stones. So that would be more important. So that's why white had to fix, and then black could block. Now we obviously plan to answer that. If you're an amateur like me, Shin Jinseo instead chooses to cut. Cut, use this. So later on, these stones will have to be captured by white, since they can potentially make an eye and some liberties. Very nice exchanges first before answering. That's an important endgame as well. Does black need to answer again on the left side? Looks like not. Yeah, you do not have to answer again on the left side. So he's just playing the final little endgame there. And obviously this endgame is eyeing the center stuff. I would expect white to try to fix the center stuff. Wow, this move to try to fix the center stuff is very interesting. White will, yeah, have to let this kind of black move go. Black takes another endgame. White connects again, and black takes the final endgame. White was defending this liberty problem stuff that was happening all the time. Wow, white spent another move inside here? Oh, he thought capturing these stones is faster. So he just wanted to make sure he had enough liberties over here to capture these. Interesting. Capturing these stones is faster than capturing those stones? Really? I guess they both had 3 liberties. Black wins by 1 1/4 stones. So my judgment was off at the end. In fact, Shin Jinseo was winning. Wow. But that was a tight game. Very well played by both. Co-trading way too big for my skill, for my judgment. And yeah, they started playing some moves that I just completely didn't understand what they were talking about. That was fun. I'm glad they insta-rematched. Their record, by the way, on Fox, Shin Jinseo has won 10 times, and Yuanhe has won 5 times. But their most recent games, all their games this year have been in favor of Shin Jinseo bar 1. That game was close, though. That was not exactly clean domination by Shin Jinseo. Anyway, that game, Shin Jinseo had black in the last one, so he started very aggressively in the opening. This one, he has white. We're playing Chinese rules, 7.5 Komi. So I wonder whether Shin Jinseo will be like slightly less aggressive with the komi, or whether that's sort of hoax. People say that the aggressive players calm down a bit when they get the slightly more komi that comes from, 7.5 komi in Chinese rules, and weight is supposed to be like slightly better, half point better or something, according to the AIs. But I think Shin Jinseo will be just as aggressive. The classical move here is to attach. You could, though, just not do that. There's all sorts of other options. You could enclose the bottom left. Since there's a 3-4 here, it seems to make a lot of sense. Now black will usually play a pincer somewhere on the right side. Yeah. And when I play this position, I often run at p14. But when Shin Jinseo plays it, he often tanukis and allows black to surround and looks to invade that later. Oh, but Shin Jinseo ran at p14 this time. He learned from me. I like this fight as white because it's quite difficult for black to prove that they're getting more than you are when you're so much weaker, and you can clearly outline the corner. This is a classic Jiseki where black can attach later, and then white has a wedge, and then yeah, this is it's always interesting how it works after that wedge, because often black can like Atari down and connect here, and white Ataris, and then captures the stone, and black plays a ko, and then white can't really cut because when black recaptures the ko, black would connect. I never really understand how to play this fight. It looks like Shin Jinseo has decided that just playing away right now is fine, because if black thickens this, he can easily live. If black attacks this way, he can use those weaknesses to save himself. It's an interesting strategy to fight it. I kind of approve, actually. It makes more sense to me to do it like that than to try to bust through black when you're clearly weaker. So Shin Jinseo plays this shoulder hit and jump in response to black shoulder hit. Even amateurs do that sometimes. We each have the enclosure and we each shoulder hit each other. The meaning is like the shoulder hit could potentially build this area, so you shoulder hit the other guy to make sure they don't build the area that big. And then, yeah, each shoulder hitter could theoretically build. Now that white has these, then maybe white will eventually pincer and build the top side. Of course, since black is very strong here, he'll prioritize the left side where black is not strong. But also this shoulder hit is a very easy technique to reduce the right side. Now it's very hard for black to claim that it can ever be too big, right? Even black spends a move, it's not going to be that imposing. So black spends a Byoyomi already because he's like, I can't play on the right side. That's too small and it's still going to be invadable. So this, you see this already menaced and reduced the right side in a way that it won't really be a problem for white. And he just shoulder hit here. It's very easy to play. And then he could play on the left side to invade somehow, but it's kind of difficult to prove. He could play on the bottom side, but it's kind of awkward. So eventually he chooses the top side and tries to attack these stones, which makes sense to me that you should take care of that stone, put pressure here, and try to control the area. Of course, white will just figure out a way to save these stones, and he chooses to play this tiger's mouth, which is quite an unusual move to my eyes. It looks like we're just asking to be peeped and pressured from the right side. So peep comes. Yeah, to me this is quite weird. Normally you see players play the attach in this kind of position, not the tiger's mouth, which becomes easily heavy like this and attacked. Shin Jinseo must believe that pressure, the liberty pressure against the two stones, will do something to allow him like to block here and cause pressure in the corner. But this from black looks very natural, so obviously white wants to block if he played like this. Otherwise it wouldn't make any sense at all. And then after this block, I believe that this one space jump covered the weaknesses. Like if I were playing black, I would say that's covered and I should block here. Yeah, exactly. So I get to go do some other thing, and it looks like this exchange for black gained, because black now has a nicer position to build the right side later to potentially attack this. I like what happened there in that corner for black, but Jinseo will like it because he can Hane Tiger, because he can save this group with the weaknesses. It's these sort of like subtle, difficult to gather things that are white's benefit from that exchange. So obviously black can just invest a stone here and be happy because that saved his stones on the top side and is comfortable. And now white has to prove where he's going to be happy. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe the left side? It's common to spend a move sort of running out here. But when you have a stone like this, then it could easily become sort of over-concentrated or weird. If you put a stone like 2 space here, if you didn't have that stone, it would make a lot of sense to control this side. But you already have the stone, so it's already kind of controlled. So he doesn't want to do that. He leans here with the knight's move, which I thought about as well. Can compress this black a little bit. Yeah, what if black attacks here now? So now this group can potentially be attacked, but black doesn't want to commit to that until he's sure it will work. Because if you try to surround something and it will fail, then you lose value. So instead, he's going to say, I don't want to be compressed on the right side. I'm going to attack this. I'm going to try to get some power here. And if I get enough power to be able to like seriously try to attack this, I'll do that. If I don't, then I won't, right? So he just spends the move attacking this group in the bottom right first, asking it how it's going to save itself, and Jinseo ignores to play this peep. Quite weird, because it seems like black can just answer, yeah? So you peep and black answers, and what's the point? What did we gain from that? Seems like he lost a lot of the Aji. And what he gained is maybe potential over here, but I don't really see it. Maybe he gained like a Hane thing? And black just attacks again. That looks natural to me. White did the thing where he builds the left side. To me, this game, this opening looks really good for black. I think that black is playing good moves. I mean, at least black is playing the way that I would play and think that I'm winning. So, yeah, Jinseo might be beating both of us, but to me, I like black right now. So Jinseo played the knight's move here first, asking to push out there, and then here. Obviously, this is the right way to save your group. Once you get enclosed like this, you should make sure to expand your area as much as possible, so that if black tries to reduce that area, as long as you can save, this will be successful. I do believe white can save, since this one is his forcing move. Then black's best reduction is over here, clamp, and white could block like this, and then, yeah, it's pretty clear to see, I think, that there should be enough space. Just like this, right? That's already enough. So that's why black gives up the attack. He just says this is successful enough already, which I agree. I think that's I think that white gets quite compressed there. And then white saves himself. He plays the Hane first in this one. Wow, that was a nice order. So that means that later on there's a cut over here, and potentially after this one gets played, then cut, extend here. There's not quite anything even still, right? Wow, black invaded this? What's the point? Why did he have to invade that now? Well, he gets the cut. If white would connect here, then black would connect here, let white go through this way, and be happy with the territory or something. Be happy with the space he reduced. But instead, white bamboos, and black cuts here, so white hanes, and black cuts here. So black has managed to very stably take the top side, but white has taken a lot of power towards the center with that sequence, and this move looks very, very, very natural. And to me, it looks like that sequence just now is benefiting white. White was trying to save his group. He ran to the top side, but he was just joking, and black took it really seriously. Black now has committed all his stones to the top side. He's super strong there, but his territory is so small, right? And this one is looking to save that one stone. So I expect to see some kind of answer. This is a nice forcing move, actually. I like that idea. Because the answer is not that easy. White does this one to say, hey, if you really want to mess with this cut, then I'll squeeze this. And then if you get so compressed on the top side, you'll even get attacked again, which is funny. So he squeezes this. And black, of course, does not want to answer that. If he would answer that and white would answer, then that would be fine. But it's likely that if he does answer that, then he's going to get counterattacked before white ever answers. So he chooses to take the sort of proper road of saving his stones on the outside, but white gets the capture. And that's, again, threatening to compress black, so black should answer that, and then that means that white is already connected. And Sente kind of makes this look a little silly. And white plays this peep. So now we have a situation where black has some territory on the top, some territory over here, some potential on the bottom, and I mean quite a bit of potential towards the center, really, since this is still a weak group. But white has the left side and, you know, a group here. But this weak group, as long as this weak group can save itself pretty easily, which it can, it looks like white is doing better now. Black has to save himself pretty passively. He plays this move too fast. If I'm playing black, yeah, maybe I have to play there, but I'm not going to play it that fast. I'm going to, you know, hem and haw and take some time. There's no way that playing like that is, like, happy. Okay, so white played this attachment. The idea was that there's going to be some weakness over here, and white's shape is super, super strong. So there's no way for black to really fight against that, since white could make some Ko and Atari and threaten to counterattack these 3 stones. So black just took the benefit to his group in the center, let white run out here, and the idea of this one was that the cut could come eventually. So white eventually spends that empty triangle connect. That's probably better than a table shape connect or something in this case, because it just directly solves the issue. And black played this triple hane, 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 hane. So that puts a lot of pressure on white, because now if white plays on this side, then there's a potential cut that can happen. Of course, white is going to use the wedge to say, hey, I could capture your stone, so you can't exactly cut me right now. And that means that black is in some trouble with this stone. This is quite difficult. You know, this sequence here, after the triple hane, where you play Atari and then extend this way, this is extremely uncommon at middle levels, but it's actually common in double-digit Q games and in pro games. But in, like, amateur Dawn, amateur single-digit Q games, people always answer the triple hane. They're like, oh no, you have some good reason not to get counter-aggressed, so I'll save myself. And they would just extend here. But the pros are much more likely to counter-aggress. And the double-digit Qs, who don't even know that there could be a reason that you're supposed to answer, also are more likely to counter-aggress, which I found quite interesting. Anyway, black chose to play attach, trying to make this kind of thing, this kind of direct fight, like much more powerful if there would be another weakness on the left side. But Jinseo just said, hey, I'll take care of this stuff. So that means I'm super strong now in the center. And then you can fight against the left side, and you can break the left side. But, you know, how is that going to be more valuable than the amazing shape here, where there was a weak group and another weak group? So black is going to try to say, hey, it's more valuable because I can make this great shape. Look, I haned your head of 3 stones twice, you know? Great shape. But as long as Jinseo can save those 3 stones, then his power control should be really, really nice. Even if he doesn't save the 3 stones and attacks this, it wouldn't be good enough. He has to save the 3 stones. There's some reading going on. It's like, which hane do you want to do? You're going to hane under one side or the other, I think. This side, okay. Then black extends. Black is thinking this upper left. Obviously, the left side is a target, is the main target. But this upper left is also target, and this cut is also target. So this tiger should feel very comfortable for black to be able to play this kind of hane later, surround the upper left, and at the same time threaten this cut, so that this whole topside group becomes weak again. White probably wants to play here, but then there will be a double hane on this side. It's kind of awkward. So he plays this one. If black just answers, what is the meaning? If black just answers, now when white plays here, black has push here, push. And if white answers like this, then black can cut. So white can no longer do that. Before, white was relying on this Atari from the outside. So I'm not exactly sure why I exchanged this. I guess my reading must be very wrong. So, certainly it's wrong somewhere. And then, so he exchanged that, and then he immediately just took care of the left side. So he took all this area, he managed to make it so that black's shape was not good over here, but he completely ignored the cut here. So it looks like this hane or this extend are both going to be very, very painful for white. And even black says, I don't even need them to cut you. I can just directly attack you in the upper left. And white splits himself again even harder to make sure that this left side group, it doesn't have a base. Because the only way white is going to get out of this now is with counter pressure. Of course, that's the goal, right? We should be saving ourselves with counter pressure all the time. But if black plays this extend, then white was planning to say, hey, then your whole group here can be quite weak. So that's why black did not extend. He just hunted here, trying to take a sort of coward's way out to save these stones easily, but also aim at this cut, so not that cowardly. But the problem is that now if he cuts, then white will just cut like this, and then this whole group will die, so he should really take care of his own cut. And so that's why he peeps and forces white to fix here. And finally, this position looks like white managed to take the whole left side and fix his whole center. Black has to figure out some way to use this stone to counterattack the white weaknesses, but this cut directly only attacks the top side, not the left. So it looks like it would be more like an invasion that black would play. It just doesn't seem to work, so black plays in the center instead. Sort of patient, take care of your group. This makes a lot more sense than to do something over here, but it means that the fighting definitely worked for white. So white caps. Black starts with the Atari. Interesting idea. That means white can Atari from the second line, but then when black captures, black becomes super thick. So since this cap is aiming at potentially some weaknesses over here, black asked, hey, do I have any weaknesses, or are you like strictly alive? And white said, no, I'm not strictly alive because you have some weaknesses. So always counter-aggressive, Jinseo. I really like the amount of counterplay that he's getting. And because black was then like, okay, you say you're not alive, I'm going to use that. He pushed down. White was able to push here, cause there to be some cuts in the center, and then block here is still aiming at potential life. Where if Shin Jinseo churns and extends this way, then that would be alive. But it would be insane for black to stop that. Black should be fixing the cut somehow and letting white save in Gote here, and then there will still be a cut in the center. So it seems like maybe this attack was not that successful. Unless he plays here, which stops this turn from working in Sente, and he's going to try to kill it with these cuts still existing. Very crazy, but you got to do something. So descend here, asking black to try to really kill him. Do you really dare? I don't think black really dares, even now, even after playing this move. If black really, really dares, then he's going to cause himself liberty issues with his cuts on the bottom side, which are not even working themselves. So, yeah, have to fix somehow. He fixes like this, and then white can save this group on the right side. This Atari is the kind of thing which feels good to play, because it gets you points, and you wouldn't have to save your group later, so black wouldn't necessarily answer later. So it feels good for endgame, but it does also lose a co-threat. Shin Jinseo played it. So I respect that a lot. Many amateur players will withhold that kind of thing, even though it feels good, because they're like, I want to keep the Aji. This is the professional way, is to take such good exchanges. Don't worry too much about that Aji. The strong players, they tend to leave things too often, leave things behind too often, and they don't take it right away. But the strongest players, they take the stuff that they need to take. So Shin Jinseo exchanged this and then lived, because obviously if he would just play here, then this would be black Sente anyway, so why not deny black the co-threat, right, to make that exchange. And yeah, if he played here, it wouldn't ever be white Sente, right? So when he does this, it's kind of like it's white Sente. Like, I guess black shouldn't really capture here, but he did because he wanted to prevent the... No, black shouldn't really capture there, but it doesn't matter that much. When black captures there, he filled his own liberty of this part, which means that the bottom side invasions that white might be able to do later are quite a bit stronger. He should have just withheld that. So this cut comes, that cut comes. Oh, when black played this move on the bottom side, I was thinking white would play some move to sort of reduce, aim at that, so average move in the center and pass the game back. But he just descended instead. So that kills the corner very cleanly. There were definitely invasions that black could do there, but Shin Jinseo stopped them with a full move and allowed black to really build the right side here. So black attached, tried to make it as imposing as possible. And white is just sort of going to reduce that very calmly. Seems like white thinks that he's winning, and he can win the game pretty easily this way. Interestingly, after cut and cut, black did not just connect here, because that would cause white to have a lot of forcing moves, a lot of potential to make stuff happen on the bottom side. So he did this one so that if white plays on the bottom side, now black can directly save these stones, which had to be shorted. And then they're playing a sort of calm stage of the game here, where nothing too big is going to be traded back and forth until they find a good reason to. And it seems like Shin Jinseo has the advantage. Although I liked black's opening, I don't think that his fight on the left did him any favors, nor his fight in the bottom right just now. And since Shin Jinseo got to play this, this massive endgame that also secures everything here, seems like white should, like this white area looks really happy, and this black area is not that efficient in terms of how much black got per stone he was spending. White is harassing him more to defend it. If black does defend, which looks natural, it's kind of an over concentrated result. It's not that good of a result, not that fun. White just answers, black presses. Will white connect? If white connects, it's kind of difficult to show that you have something after that. So white does not connect. White says, hey, if you cut, then you'll still be attackable, so it's not that big. Pushes here once. If white could get to push through a couple more times, then this part could be weak. So he managed to break a little bit of territory there. He could have chosen to break the right side instead of continuing to play like this, but he does. Oh, and black answered. So if black hadn't answered, I thought that this was cuttable directly, but then white would Atari and play on this side, so that's crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. So this connect ends up being his sente. Okay, I don't know why he didn't do it first then, rather than to force this first. I mean, it wasn't that serious, so he could do that, so why not? This move, I agree, looks really, really, really big to separate this black. But black takes care of his group in the corner. If he wouldn't take care of that group now, then there will be some issue with the cut and the endgame. So what exactly that would be, it's kind of hard. Like, at least Hane first is going to work in some respects. But that's not really big enough right now. I think black just played here because fixing the cut is obviously big, and then prevents all this stuff, and then the right side is just the next biggest area. So white attached here, trying to his best to play for the territory on the right. Black pushes once, aiming at Ataring and reducing, so white looks really big to answer, but of course that means that you didn't get to block here and threaten to get this area. So it's a little frustrating. You'd like to have gotten that block, but it seems like it's sort of black sente. Black and Hane now, but there's a cut, which is quite scary. You don't want to Hane and get cut instead of just jumping or something if that was all you could do. So jump over here. And black covers his peep, takes some control of this area. This cut will never actually happen because, of course, the upper right corner is still weak. But jump here. This still puts pressure on that these cuts over here can get weak, that sort of thing. This is quite interesting. Seems like black might score these 2 stones in return for white having to play it at R10. But there's still some weakness in the corner that makes that not really that reasonable. Even if white just gets like this move sente, it's very scary for black. So black doesn't actually try to capture anything. He's just going to let white pass. White can connect here and save his stones and save his stones over here. But white is thinking about playing something direct against this corner, I think. He just chooses to be patient. I was thinking about whether white could hane here. After hane, it seems like black would have to fall back pretty hard. Because if black plays at s6, I think the peep is quite serious then. It looks quite serious. I don't really know why we wouldn't exchange that stuff. I don't really know why black would ever play here instead of that stuff. Looks like this is much smaller. And so here comes hane and peep, right? They're patient. So to me, I'm reading peep. They connect. Here, black connects. White captures. If black cuts, then we play R2. And then it's a seki on the side, I think. But they aren't doing it. So if peep connect here, here, capture, and black answers here, then you could say black will live anyway. That's true. But still, wow, Atari here. Black will obviously connect. White can push now, force the black empty triangle. So white managed to exchange this hane now. It ends up being good shape. But this is really better. Let me count. The local position, not the global position. Huh. I think it is better. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And white wins by resignation. White was winning by bet 4.5. It seems like the left side was the main reason why. They didn't immediately restart a game. So I'm going to load these 2 games up into Katago. Shin Jinseo, by the way, now on a 5-game winning streak in his ranked adventures at Tendon. Love to see it. And his recent Fox games, and he also plays the other world champions who have not, beaten 90% of world champions. So he plays lots of free games then against those world champion 9-dan Fox. He's lost 1 of these Blitz games in the last 2 months, and he's won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So he's 14-1 in the last couple months on Fox. Love to see that. Let's load these games into Katago and see whether my judgments were correct and how exactly Shin Jinseo was doing it. Let's load in the second game first. Here we go to Katago. Oh, that's not exactly the place I wanted it. I think I changed the window size. Yep. There you go. Oh, I should make it a bit smaller. There we go. So here we go. This is the most recent game. Or no, this is the first game. So in this game, Shin Jinseo was actually doing poorly for quite a while. He started off quite well here. Apparently the 1-space high pincer was the choice of the AI there. And then it was this fight and here. And so as this game continued, and black didn't really get to punch anything, white managed to take a lead. I wonder Aha, so black was supposed to play this Hane and find something sharp, and then to play 5 as it would really impact the group. But he didn't think that this Hane was good. I know he definitely saw the Hane, but because I saw the Hane too, but it doesn't mean that I knew it was good. I didn't think it was good. Shin Jinseo thought like me. His first mistake. Anyway, after that, then we saw this attachment. So here, Wait's strategy to capture the stone was actually good and allow the cut, actually good, but he had to play connect here, apparently. I was thinking about this connect. I saw this variation locally where you play 2, yeah, 2, 6, 7. It turns out that was not working as a capture race for black, and black wouldn't really be able to easily surround white. But white was patient, white was sort of passive to allow it. And then Shin Jinseo exchanged this peep, which AI says is a serious mistake, because it sees something for him to do directly here. So what is the thing that he should do directly? Atari this way, squeezing it like this, and then to squeeze from the outside entirely and give up the 4 stones. Interesting. This idea is very harshly committal, gives white more points over here. The black outside is still quite weak, seems, but since black gets the outside benefit and has a direct target to use the outside benefit on, it can work. It's an interesting idea. The other way that this could go is definitely this way. This is quite an interesting variation. Now, white shouldn't really run, because that's ladderable. But white could Hane here, and if black captures, white could capture this back. I don't think Shin Jinseo was scared of this kind of result. It was more like this one, that this was very unclear that was going to be good for black. It looks like you're sort of feeding, But anyway, the game went like this, and then I judged that was working well for black. Indeed it was. It caught him up back into the game. And this sequence is very, very nice. Actually, white's block is supposed to be 3-3. It wasn't so bad to block, but getting compressed a little bit. Black gained just a little bit from that sequence. And then this block, it turns out, was actually so big. Interesting. It definitely felt like that when white turned here later. It felt like we lost something. I like that Shin Jinseo instantly played here. He didn't spend very long at all, right? Still catching up to the game, but he had played here very fast. No even thinking about connecting for the cut, just surround. Ah, I had it right. Shin Jinseo, a little too counter-aggressive here. We were supposed to just be patient. Allow white to capture that 1 stone. This was my idea. Obviously, Shin Jinseo saw this too. He thought if white captures the stone like that, white should be pretty happy with that shape, and then, nothing really that special happens. So instead, he wanted to make the fight like this, where he's threatening the cut directly. Yeah, white can't cut, but white also can't do other things, because this is going to be scary, I guess. You just cut this, okay. So white should save those 2 stones, but if he saves the 2 stones directly, it's still bad. Black can still just exchange these things and harass that. White still gets compressed. So he had to save the stones there, and then black should not connect. He's right about that. What is that? What is this for? You just want this sente so that you have slightly better eye shape? I don't really get it. White was actually able to cut right now and cause black the issue right now, but he took this first for whatever reason. It looked a little strange, but black was then able to connect, but didn't. And again. But yeah, mostly it was this one for white that I guess is really quite a suspicious move, because it was aiming at this cut and it let black connect, but black also didn't connect. So I was saying that I would cut here, right, if I were white. And I didn't really believe in black's idea, because obviously this is what was going to happen. And then black was planning on playing that kind of connect somehow. Playing this kind of capture race somehow. Black thought that this was going to be successful, but the AI thinks otherwise. And I thought otherwise. So take that, Shin Jinseo. In this one situation, I would have killed you. But probably not. I would have gotten a killing position. Probably would have failed the capture race. Anyway, because White was a wimp, just played here instead of going for the kill, which would work, then Black could come back. And the game became close again, but White actually started taking a lead again when Black did this one, which shocked me. Yeah, I thought for sure he was going to play here, since this... Well, I thought you could fight back against this and it would be good, but actually you can't. Well, still you can just connect, it's fine. But interesting that this is not good, because now you'd have to capture for it to make sense, and White can kill these stuns. So although you capture something here, it doesn't change that much when you die. Don't die. So Black made this counterattack. Yeah, I was saying that like strong players wouldn't even breathe before playing here, right? I am indeed very impressed that for some reason White played here. Like White thought for a long time and then played here. It's very impressive to disregard the principles that much, but he wasn't supposed to do it. Like, I know that he knows the principles of why White should obviously play here, but for some reason he did this one. I don't know. So from here we had that Ko on the top side. And I thought that White was in big trouble here before starting the Ko. But actually White was doing fine, and the Ko was supposed to be very good for White. But it turned out that this local fighting that happened where White tried this counterattack here, it was all supposed to be good. Even up through here, it's all supposed to be good. And even now it's supposed to be good. And White did this and Haned. So it's still supposed to be good, but somehow it turned bad after this. At this moment in the game, White was already winning, and then Black won. How did that happen? There's like no time left in the game to make a comeback. But Black played here in this peep. White answered. It seemed like this was all necessary. So this move was slightly wrong from White. White should have played that diagonal, which looks like it's just less territory for no real reason. I can't say I really understand. Like, if I were playing White, I will also play here. But White has to play away? What even is this? This move means Black is allowed to do this because I'll invade. Black can stop my invasion, but if they do, then I'll answer. And then now I get this stuff in Sente. Remember, in the game, it was not Sente. But if I can exchange this, now White gets it with the right to cut next. Wow. If White played here, he's a genius. This is an unbelievable move. Black should answer like this, but White can still try to live. And Black should try to kill it, but apparently somehow White can like counter split. Black can cut this and save that, but it's not worth it because you get weak over here. So Black has to come back, and then White can cover this anyway. And somehow the weakness over here is going to pay off for White. Somehow. I don't know. It's not at all easy to understand. It's much easier to understand what they did. It's just like I get this stuff which matters to me. Wow. And Black was winning. What did White do wrong? It says Black is winning already. I mean, definitely that's not a mistake. This is the move that's wrong. It looks so tempting. But if White plays here... No, it's not this. What is it? Where is White supposed to play? Here? That doesn't make any sense. This is like starting some counterattack that's not going to work. You can play here, that's going to be forcing. You can do that all you want. You can try to save this, but it's not going to work. Yeah, whatever you want. Like, why? Eventually AI wants to go here. Is Black just already winning? This cut. Powerful. Oh, White did this to fill Liberty, which is smart. Man, my AI thought that White was winning, but then anytime you play it out, it's like, never mind. I guess here, with this cut, you can make some potential capture race against this black. So now, after this... Oh, black doesn't need to throw in, because then the capture race will be bad. Why would black play here and be winning? Here and winning. Crazy. That means we're going to win the capture race if the 3 liberties here and 3 liberties there. That would be nuts. If this happens, then throw in here, here. Yeah, we're going to win the capture race. Bang, bang, bang. I guess we don't exactly win it, but it's already good enough to save this and get the points. So in the actual game, when black played this Hane and connect and blocked like this, white could just answer. Yeah, he already could answer here to fix his liberty problems a bit better. This one doesn't really fix liberty problems that well, but it does get a point. But black just went and took his sente, and he treated this one as sente as well, and this one as sente as well. And then he was winning by 3.5, or by 3. So how come? What? At this moment, white is winning, and white barely does anything wrong, and then black wins. What's up with that, man? Like, white had to go in and cause these fights? But this cut? The fact that white left this cut and then left this whole red side group to have to spend a bunch of moves inside is what white, the AI white, is not expecting. It's thinking like, hey, you should be able to cover that stuff. So this cut, cover. Like, yeah, sure, black can exchange all these things, but it shouldn't matter, right? That's what the AI is thinking, but it did matter. Mattered a lot. In this variation, it was saying white +3 because black didn't get this area. But in the actual variation, black blocked over here so nicely that he got this area and he got the cut in sente. And then he could get this stuff and block this whole area and that area. So that's why he wins. I think it's AI misevaluation here. I guess this way, though, if you play this diagonal, then this cut doesn't come as sente over here. That's why the diagonal is better. And the AI probably can win by like half a point. It's definitely not the 3 points that it's thinking, but probably AI can win by half a point by being passive like that. Passive and patient, and then cover this area. Wow. Very, very interesting. Okay. I think I learned something. And let's look at game 2. So here, yeah, I thought that, let's see. Here, I thought that black had a good opening, and I thought Shin Jinseo, who played white, he caught up on the left side. So indeed, black had a good opening here. He was winning a couple points. Yeah, this white peep is very unusual, very strange. He just answered there. I guess he probably wanted black to answer here, and then there would be a cut like this, and other resources besides, but this cut is annoying because you can use all sorts of things, and it just was that, like, when this happens, that peep was not in the right area. Not in a good area. Not in as good an area as what black move was. So black was doing well here, but then he peeped here for some reason. And that allowed white to take the outside. So obviously if this happens, then this is black's plan. Actually, white could have done this as well, which would take the top side and sort of force black down that way. But no matter what, this peep, the problem with it is that white forces it down, you know? It's very easy to be stable with that peep. You can definitely do that and save it, but it doesn't mean you get the valuable area. Now, black did this one, and then white did this one to resist it. I was thinking that I would play here if I were white, but Shin Jinseo resists everything that he can. And I think because of that, he scores a bit. Black does this one, which is not really that valuable. Does this one, which lets white do that one, which is also quite valuable. And like the game becomes pretty difficult for black. Black eventually even connects here, which is... Now that I look at it with the AI graph, this is just an obvious mistake, but I didn't call it out. I didn't see it. So yeah, black should have extended here, because then if white answers like this, we jump, okay. And comparatively, if you play this one, white can answer and you don't get as much pressure. You can't easily threaten to kill that the same way. But because white did this one, actually black's attack was like kind of better, because he has more surrounding pressure, but he wasted it. I mean, he was in a fine position, but he wasted it when he just connects here. And then the attached there comes. He should have extended here rather than connect. That's a hard judgment. Because when you connect here, you can, or when you extend here, then this is going to come. Yeah, exactly this sequence. Now you have a ko, which if white wins, it's really valuable. And if white loses, it's already still connected by net over there anyway. So makes a lot more sense to connect in my book. But AI is saying you just allow that anyway, just for the right to move to the bottom side and to the left side. It's a ridiculous amount of value to place on one stone worth of movement, it seems, but if AI says so, then... I mean, basically if a human walked up to me and said you should play here instead of that, even though there's the ko, I would kind of think they're dumb. But if it's AI that says, what can I say? And yeah, this move, the double-digit Q special from Jinseo, it's very aggressive, right? So it caused an immediate issue. Black played that attach, and yeah, black instantly made a mistake. So he was supposed to play here to ask directly to white whether they were going to extend or to capture. And either way, this was apparently enough help to really commit to a fight around here, which is very unintuitive. It looks like this is a failure to human eyes. Like, yeah, black gets to break this area, but white became that strong. And like, what is your attach doing anymore? Like, why would we attach there and then do it? It doesn't make that much sense. But I mean, I prefer what they did humanly. It makes more sense to me. Okay, they did this. I was wondering now between these things. I mean, I was doing a lot of reading, but I couldn't ever make a conclusion on any of these fights. It's good to know that even Jinseo is the same. He also can't make a conclusion on that kind of fighting. It's too hard. But interesting that he was right to try to exchange this rather than to play the sort of passive, casual way. To try to exchange this, he actually got it, and then he played on this side. That was mistaken because of this thing. This cut. But this is very risky stuff, and the reason why Jinseo exchanged that is because now he definitely has it. So now black has to save this, and white has to save that, and white has to save that, and then we have a fight. Crazy fight. Apparently black could get away with that, but he didn't know. How's he supposed to know? And he can't get away with it now, which is, you know, when you would rather have gotten away with it. Wow. White could save these and let those be cut. That was probably Shinjinso's plan. So now in this situation, black is kind of dead on the left side already, because white has so much power here that it's almost impossible to imagine black running. But white is already kind of dead on the top side as well. So white can try to exchange this. If he gets that exchanged, then he has some potential for an eye over here. Still not that clear. But he's just going to run and try to save this group in this variation. Wow. This doesn't look that savable to me. I wouldn't really be thinking like white can save this. You know, it's all well and good if AI says so and shows you some move, but you know, that white group should save itself. This is our strategy. That's hard. That's hard. So in the actual game, black played this way, and then the game was still close. Black did the correct move, white played a reasonable move. I was also thinking about white playing here. I was going to mention that maybe we should do this one. AI is saying white can wedge. I don't really get it. Why are we wedging first? But black also doesn't really get it because he forced white to do that, which is funny. Wow, AI says black can really go for it with the Hane. That's insane. You Hane and you just let them run like this because you think you can still surround them? Man. Not comfortable. Not even slightly comfortable. But maybe possible. Here, and you make some cuts. And... So instead, when he does this one, then white is actually like chilling because white saves. White, yeah. Now black can't even kill, even if he wants to. He would have to do it like this and here, and this cut will come. Black has to cover this area, but it's just so hard. Eventually, you want to connect something. Yeah, you can't connect them all. This way, it says wait by 30 because this group will save itself by killing that. Unless there's this ko, which is too hard to fight. So in the actual game, when this one happened, then black allowed this white to save. He spent a long time here, right? It's because he knew I can't really keep this going anymore. It's because he originally tried to fight it like this, where he said, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to try to kill you. And then white said, okay, dare. And that was the decisive moment. So next time, black could be a little calmer in the attack. This kind of attack is so easy, you know? Just get a free ko. Relax. But the reading was really hard. It was. Yeah, this move is obviously just losing value. This is a -1 point. That is really amateur. Very obvious. So here, Shin Jinseo is doing well, but somehow loses control of the game when he reduces here. It's not that critical, not that powerful. And this was actually double sente. So in the game, when black eventually got there first, it was really important because it caused there to be an issue here. I think Shin Jinseo probably didn't exactly realize that he had to go back to answer. But now there would be this one, and then another move that's forcing against the cut here. And if you would answer that, then black would just live. So AI is showing some variation where you don't answer that. But if you don't answer that, then these 3 stones are in big trouble. You know, you cut this side, they die, and cut this side, then they die harder. So this was actually double sente. If Shin Jinseo would get that double sente, then probably white would be fine. But since he didn't get that double sente, he got reduced. He lost 3 points. That's why before, white was winning by 4 points, and now white is winning by 1 point. He could have gotten 3 more points. This extend was wrong. That's insane. I thought that extend was like definitely better than Hane in this case. But Hane was better. Hane is better. I thought that after this, so like say you Hane, I thought black was going to play here. Like, okay, yeah, we should exchange this. I thought black is going to play here, and then white shape should be weird. Because if white connects here, then there's this Atari. If white plays here, then there's still a cut, still problems. It looks weird. But saying white could play this Hane, and like it was really important to get the timing for that. That this Hane is like so valuable. So the reason why we should Hane here instead of extend, it's not because it's locally better. Locally it's worse. But what it does is it makes the next follow-up really big. So when black Hane is here, if you Hane'd, you can go through. And you can break the territory in the center in exchange. But if you only extend, you have nothing to trade back, right? So he plays over here, but this is so big. Actually, black made a mistake to not just take it. So the reason why you Hane is because you know that there's this actually really, really big endgame coming up. But you can't take it now because you get a target, so you cover that, and then you get your own massive, massive, massive threat. Very interesting. And what the hell is the point of clamp here? It means we're going to go break this and then save it. It's an adventure. If this happens, we Hane and we say, I'm saving it, you're dying. That's crazy. No human will play clamp here. In a Blitz game, at least. Probably in a long game they could play clamp, but... And yeah, here is it's clear. My move is a massive mistake, apparently. What? How is it so bad? Did I misunderstand this? Oh my god, there's a shortage of liberty here. Ah, I just completely misread. If there's a shortage of liberty there, then it's all a joke. My bad, my bad, my bad. Okay, so that's why we do it this way. I do also think it's probably worse, even if black allows you to do it. So this way is white plus 1.5, and in the actual game, then it's white plus 2, white plus 3. So yeah, my counting, I did realize that it was worse the other way, but most importantly, it doesn't work. Don't do stuff that doesn't work. So finally, white is winning by a couple points here in black's end. Wow. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, black shouldn't do that. That makes a lot of sense. The critical things as you go to endgame, they sometimes pass me by a bit. I don't really understand what's going on often. Wow, like the idea that this exchange is extremely horrible for black because it means that black can't turn, aiming at capturing and aiming at the 3-3 and aiming at the weaknesses there. And instead black can only just push, and actually it's like significantly less space for black. It makes sense on a practical level, but my shape intuition is just rebelling to me to have the idea that this white exchange push for black push through is good for white. That's extremely unusual. Don't, like, if you're a single digit Q, please don't learn this. Never do an exchange like that if you're single digit Q, because you'll always do it wrong. But that's what Shin Jinseo needs to do to improve, is find those kinds of extremely counterintuitive shapes. And he indeed found it here. Here it makes a lot more sense though, and there's already the stone there, so that stone becomes wasted. But you can even do it immediately. That's crazy. Very interesting games. Happy to watch. Hope they play again soon. Or record some more live commentary. Hope you enjoyed. See you later.